What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Monday, December the 21st. Good morning, everyone. Last night they did it. It only took them about 9 months, but they finally did it. Congress striked a stimulus relief deal. We are going to discuss it today on this video. And we need to discuss how much the second round of stimulus checks will be and exactly when you can expect to receive it. Now, those are just the topics that we are going to cover today on this video. But before we get started, be sure to like this video if you like this type of content. It definitely helps out a lot, as it takes a lot of time to research all of this information and to provide a scaled down version to share with you guys. Also, if you want to be a part of this community, we would love to have you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to be notified of each new video. What's up, everyone, and what a way to start the week off with some great stimulus news right before Christmas. We have been waiting about 9 months for this to happen in what congressional leaders call this a hard-fought agreement. Well, I personally don't think that it was hard-fought. I mean, these dang politicians haven't done anything in the last 9 months other than lead the American people on for weeks after weeks after weeks and telling us that we're going to have a stimulus package passed by the end of that week. But we are not here to talk about what has happened in the past. Let's go ahead and talk about the future and this second stimulus relief bill. For starters, this stimulus bill will provide $900 billion in relief aid for America. This bill has changed multiple times as negotiations were going back and forth amongst lawmakers. But yesterday, they finally made it happen. This bill includes the well sought out enhanced unemployment benefits and direct cash payments to individuals in America. It also includes small business loans for the PPP, or the Paycheck Protection Program. It includes funding for schools and childcare, rental assistance, nutrition assistance such as SNAP food stamp benefits, and funding for the vaccine. What's not in this bill is the state and local government funding and the liability protections for businesses. Those two things were removed from the bill about 2 weeks ago by the bipartisan group of lawmakers when they introduced the bipartisan bill. So, it's not the best stimulus package, but it is a great start. I'm sure another package will be needed sometime in the first quarter, which means that Congress may not have it until like June or July of next year. As slow as they are to get things done in Congress. Hey, what can I say? But anyways, let's discuss exactly what this bill entails and what's included in it. And let's start off with the great news first. It does include stimulus checks, guys, but not what everyone wanted initially. In this package, they only approved $600 stimulus checks to individuals, which is half the amount that was given from the CARES Act earlier this year. Thank you, Congress, for being so generous. Now, it also includes an additional $600 per child, which is actually $100 more than Congress gave the first time for children. So that's some great news, right? Then we have the unemployment benefits. Those who are unemployed will receive $300 weekly federal enhanced in benefits for a total of 11 weeks. Now, this is not retroactive payments. These payments won't start until the end of December, and they will go through mid of March next year, which is half the amount that was offered in the CARES Act earlier this year. Thank you, Congress, for being so generous. Now, they are also extending the 2 unemployment programs that were set to expire at the end of this week. The PUA, or the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which covers the gig workers, freelancers, independent contractors, self-employed folks, and other specific people affected by the pandemic. And the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program was set to expire at the end of this week as well. They are extending this program for an additional 13 weeks. Now, both programs would be closed off to new applicants sometime in March and then phase out in early April of next year. And then we have more relief aid for small businesses in the PPP or Paycheck Protection Program. Some of the hardest hit businesses can reapply for a second loan. They have designated about $12 billion for minority-owned businesses and very small businesses. They even added additional funding for businesses like venues, independent movie theaters, and cultural institutions. And it expands the eligibility to more nonprofit organizations as well as newspapers, TV, and radio broadcasters. Wow, kind of generous there, Congress. Thank you. And then we have about $82 billion in funding for schools and colleges, and an additional $10 billion to support child care providers that have struggled during the pandemic. That's pretty awesome, Congress. Thank you. And then we have some aid for rental assistance. The bill would extend the eviction moratorium until January the 31st. That was set to expire at the end of this year. They are providing $25 billion for individuals who lost their source of income during the pandemic. Thank you, Congress, for being so generous. Although you should have extended it further than the end of January. These people need to stay in their homes and not be forced to an eviction just because they have either lost their jobs or lost their source of income or just don't have enough money to pay for their rent right now. And then for those who receive SNAP benefits, good news here as they are increasing the SNAP benefits by 15% for the next 6 months. Apparently, this was something that the Democrats fought hard for, and they got it included in this stimulus relief bill. So an increase in 15% for the next 6 months is totally awesome. The bill would also expand the pandemic EBT program to families with children under 6 years old. The deal would send $400 million to food banks and food pantries through the Emergency Food Assistance Program. And the bill also has $175 million in funding for nutritional services for seniors, such as Meals on Wheels, and $13 million for the Commodity Supplemental Food Program. This is some awesome news, especially for those who are receiving SSI or SSDI or Social Security or other governmental assistance programs. Thank you, Congress. I mean it this time, for being so generous, especially to the people who need it the most, as food prices have been increasing over the last few months. This definitely comes in handy for most Americans at a time like this. And finally, they included more aid for the vaccine production and distribution. They want to provide $20 billion to purchase more vaccines so that they can continue to be free for every American who wants to take the vaccine, and an additional $8 billion for the distribution of the vaccine. And they are offering each state an extra $20 billion to assist with the testing and administering of the vaccine shots. Thank you, Congress, for making these vaccines free. We appreciate it. And as I stated earlier today, the Democrats and the Republicans made a compromise on this bill. The Democrats wanted money for state and local governments, and the Republicans, or Mitch McConnell, wanted liability protections for businesses. They compromised with each other and left both of those off of this package deal. Now tell me, guys, what do you think about all of these that are included in this stimulus package? I know the $600 stimulus checks was just a slap in the face, and no one agrees with those, but what about everything else? Do you guys think that they did a good job in this stimulus package? Do you guys think that they could have done more? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Now, me personally, I'm just happy to finally see something both sides agree on. With both chambers are expected to vote on this bill sometime today on Monday, and then hopefully send the bill to President Trump's desk for him to sign it. Which brings up another question. Do you think that President Trump will sign this bill as it is, or do you think that he will veto the bill and demand that they increase the stimulus checks to at least $1,200 stimulus checks, or even those $2,000 stimulus checks that he urged Congress to do earlier this month? What are your thoughts, guys? What do you think about this, and whether President Trump is going to sign this bill as soon as it hits his desk? Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I really want to know what you guys think about all of this that's included in this stimulus package bill. I look forward to reading each comment and responding back to you. Now, let's go ahead and talk about our expectations of when we can receive these $600 stimulus checks. Well, if this legislation is passed and signed by the president today, some people could start receiving their payments next week. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin has already stated that once a bill is signed, they could start going out the week following. Mnuchin specifically said, I can get about 50 million payments really quickly, a lot of it into people's direct accounts. The first people to receive these $600 stimulus checks would be the taxpayers whose bank account information is already on file with the IRS, such as if you have direct deposit information on file. So, if you receive the first stimulus check by direct deposit, you could be one of the few people to receive your stimulus checks as early as next week. Now, for those of you who had your stimulus checks mailed to your home, you probably won't receive it this year. I would expect it to be sometime in late January or even February. So, if you want to receive your stimulus payments much sooner, I suggest that you head on over to the IRS.gov's website and update your information that's on file. Also, if you have moved or changed your address since the last stimulus checks were given, I suggest that you update that information as well on the IRS's website. You would hate to have your stimulus check to be mailed to your old address. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. This has been your second stimulus check update news. Oh yeah, don't forget, you can still get the free 30 days membership of the Amazon Prime just by signing up. You also can get the discounted rate for the Amazon Prime if you have an EBT card or if you receive any type of government assistance program. Also, you can get 2 free stocks just by signing up and depositing $100 into your brokerage account. All of those will be in the description down below with their links suggested next to them so that you can check all of those out. Other than that, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.